Welcome to Structural Analysis 2 video series, unit number 4, Stiffness Method. Lecture outline numerical problem on continuous beam, second part. This is the second part of a previous video. So far what we have done, we gone through the problem statement. So let us take a quickly revise the step which we was covered in the previous lecture. This is our problem, and in this we calculated kinematic indeterminacy theta b at b point and theta c at second point. Also we assign the direction to these unknown in an anticlockwise direction as a positive, and we call it as a d1 is equal to theta b and d2 is equal to theta c. After this we covered AD1 and AD2, that means force or moment acting in the coordinate direction. So coordinate direction means theta b and theta c, these are the coordinate direction, and along these theta b and theta c there is a external moment. At b there is no external moment, so 0. At c we taken the external moment from the cantilever portion, and that is of minus 80 kilonewton meter. Then we calculated the fixed moment, and these are nothing but the force in the coordinate direction of a restraint structure, as we call it as ADL1 and ADL2. So at location of theta b, so two fixed moments are acting, minus 60 plus 40, and at the location of theta c, which is our unknown, second unknown, there minus 40 kilonewton meter fixed moment is acting. So we calculated that one. Then we form the stiffness matrix by considering or giving the unit rotation to the theta b is equal to 1. So at 1 there is a theta b, and at location 2 there is a theta c. So we are applying the force in the direction of first unknown. So that's why from that we will get the coordinate S11 and coordinate S22 of our stiffness matrix coefficient, and it will form the first column of our stiffness. So at S11 our value come out 2.33 EI, and S21 value is 0.5 EI. Then we also calculate the second column of a matrix. For that, we apply the unit rotation along theta c in anticlockwise direction, and from that we calculate S12 and S22. So this is a location of a first unknown, and at C there is a location of a second unknown, and we apply the unit rotation for theta c, which is a second unknown. So let that 2 due to the theta 2 or due to the theta c or action at the place second. Okay, so that 2 indicate green, in a green color 2 indicate there is action at the place second. So we will get the S12 and S22, and other ends, far end, we keep as a fixed. So S12 is a 0.5 EI and S22 as a EI. Now move toward the second part. So now this is the second part of our problem. After calculating a coefficient of a stiffness matrix, we have to assemble the stiffness matrix. So superposition equation of equilibrium of forces, AD is equal to ADL plus S into D. So AD1 is of 0, AD2 is of minus 80, ADL1 is a minus 20, ADL2 is a minus 40, plus EI matrix values, substitute the coefficient of a matrix, and unknowns are theta b and theta c. So now simplify this equation. So take this minus 20 toward the left hand side, it becomes plus 20, then 2.33 plus theta b plus 0.5 theta c, and second take this minus 40 toward the left hand side, it becomes plus 40 is equal to 0.5 theta b second row, and 1 into theta c plus theta c. Take this EI outside. So after simplifying, we have theta b is equal to 19.23 EI and theta c is equal to minus 49.61 EI. Once we know the value of unknowns, use end moment, find out the end moment by using a slope deflection equation. So M for a span AB, MAB is equal to MFAB plus 4 EI by L into theta A plus 2 EI by L into theta B plus minus 6 EI into delta. Substitute the value of theta A here and theta B. Now here the theta A will be a 0 because our support is a fixed support. Now delta will be also 0, no sinking. No rotation due to the sinking of a support. So delta will be a 0. Now MAB is equal to fixed moment is 60 plus 2E. Now moment of inertia for AB span is 2I divided by 6. Span length is 6 meter. Putting the value of theta B 19.23 divided by EI. So we have 72.82 kilonewton meter. Now apply the equation for the calculation of end moment at B. So MBA is equal to MFBA plus 4 EI by L into theta B plus 2 EI by L into theta A plus minus 6 EI by L square into delta. No rotation due to the delta. Again the theta A will be a 0 due to the fixed end support. So here only the fixed end moment and theta B both are, two are the unknown. So putting their value minus 60 plus 4E into 2I divided by 5, the length is 6 not 5, divided by 6 into 19.23 divided by EI. So we have minus 34.36 kilonewton meter. Now let's calculate end moment for span BC. For span BC, MBC is equal to MFBC plus 4 EI by L into theta B plus 2 EI by L into theta C plus minus 6 EI by L square into delta. Now at B and at C, there is a theta B and theta C are the unknown. Again the moment due to the delta is 0, no sinking, and MFBC is plus 40 plus 4 EI by 4. Put the value of theta B 19.23 by EI plus 2 EI by 4 into minus 49 by minus 49.61 EI is equal to 34.42 kilonewton meter. Now let's calculate the end moment for CB. So MCB is equal to MFCB plus 4 EI by L into theta C plus 2 EI by L into theta B plus minus 6 EI by L square into delta. So delta will be 0, no moment due to the sinking. Putting the unknowns value of unknown, so MCB is equal to minus 40 plus EI by 4 into minus 49.61 EI plus 2 EI by 4 into 19.23 EI is equal to minus 80 kilonewton meter. And as a cantilever, we will get the end moment for cantilever, that is MCD is equal to 80 kilonewton meter. By doing force into lever arm 40 into 2, we will come out to 80 kilonewton meter. Okay, so now we having the end moment. Now move toward the next step, that is a calculation of bending moment and shear force diagram. So let's first see the shear force calculation. Now consider the each span or FBD of each span. Now there is a reaction due to the loading. So our load is 20 kN per meter UDL. So find out the reaction at A and B. So 20 into 6 divided by 2, we will get 60 kN upward reaction at A and B. Now 80 kN acting at the midpoint. So 80 divided by 2, we will get the 40 kN reaction at B and C. And last one, cantilever portion. So 40 kN, to balance the 40 kN, the 40 kN upward reaction will be generated at C. Now next is show the end moment. Now at A, end moment is anticlockwise 76, and at B it is 34.4, and at C it is 80 kilonewton meter. So by now this from this unbalanced end moment, find out the reaction, so that reaction will create or balance the end moment. So take a difference between these two end moments, 72.76 minus 34.4 divided by span, we will get 6.4 kilonewton. So show this reaction below the maximum moment. So maximum moment is 72.76. So below that maximum moment, the reaction 6.4 kilonewton first. Now the moment at the far end 34.4 kilonewton, which is in a clockwise direction. So here you have to show the arrow upward. So it will rotate and get added into this 34.4 kilonewton moment. Now at the far end, you have to show the same reaction in a downward direction, and magnitude is a 6.4 kilonewton. So it will form the couple, or it will get added into 34.4, and it will balance your 72.76. After this, let's consider next span. Now in this, find out the reaction due to the unbalanced moment. So 80 minus 34.4 divided by span, you will get 11.4 kilonewton. Now show first below the maximum moment. So this is maximum moment 80 kilonewton meter. Now your far end moment is 34.4, and it is rotating in a anti-clockwise direction. So your reaction should create the moment in anti-clockwise direction. That's why you have to show arrow up. So it will rotate and get added into this 34.4. Now what about the far end? At the far end, you have to show the reaction in a downward direction. Keep a magnitude same, 11.4 kilonewton. Okay, so likewise you have to show the reaction. Now after this, you have to find out the net reaction at the support. So reaction due to the loading and reaction due to the unbalanced moment, you have to add that. So first is a plus 60 plus 6.4, you have a 66.4 kilonewton. Then plus 60 and minus 6.4 kilonewton, having a 53.6 kilonewton in upward direction. Plus 40 minus 11.4, it become a plus 28.6 kilonewton. Then next one, plus 40 and plus 11.4, it become a 51.4 kilonewton. Okay, and last reaction as it is 40 kilonewton. So from this, now draw the shear force diagram. First is your 66.4 kilonewton upward. Now next reaction is, now let I show the directly. Next reaction is a 53.6 kilonewton. That one is a 53.6 kilonewton. Now due to the UDL, it will be inclined line. Now next reaction is 28.6 kilonewton. It will be 28.6 kilonewton. No load, so it will be straight line up to 80. And if you do the 28.6 minus 80, you will get 51.4 kilonewton. So here also it is shown. Then from 51.4 up to this 40 kilonewton, there is a straight line. And next is of 40 kilonewton. So you have to show the next as a 40 kilonewton up to the end reaction 40. And if you add this end reaction there, plus 40 minus 40, you will get 0. So this is a shear force diagram that you can draw directly from this value, or you may consider this loading, and then you have to calculate. Two options are there. Then move toward the bending moment diagram. Let's show the end moment first. So end moment is 72.82 and it is anti-clockwise direction. So keep your pen close to A and rotate in anti-clockwise direction about the A. So after one rotation, it will cut your member and coming up. So show up 72.82 kilonewton. End moment at B is 34.42. So keep your pen close to the B and rotate in a clockwise direction. It is a minus. So after one rotation, your arrow coming up after the cutting the member AB. So show up 34.82. And at the C, there is 80 kilonewton moment due to the cantilever, and this one is your 80 kilonewton moment. So join with the line, you will get your bending moment diagram due to the end moment. Now next one is a draw the moment due to the free bending moment uh, uh, or free bending moment diagram. So for that UDL, the formula is WL square by 8, putting the value 20 into 6 square divided by 8, it become 90. It is a parabola, show that. And next one is for the point load at mid span, the formula is WL by 4. So 80 into 4 divided by 4, it become 80. So show here. So there is a combination of two bending moment. One is a end moment diagram and second is a free bending moment diagram. So this is your free bending moment diagram. Now the portion which is overlap, that that is shown with the white color, and the portion which is not overlap, that you have to make hatch. The portion, this is a portion which is not overlap, so this you have to make them as a hatch. Okay, so this is your combined bending moment diagram or superimposed bending moment diagram. Okay, thank you.